Well, hello everybody. Vince here from CoinToss. We've got Mark coming in a little bit later. He's got to try and figure out this new system, and for that matter of fact, so do I. So I'm just going to try and see if I can connect to the chats, because it certainly wouldn't allow me to do that until I actually was streaming. Oh, look, I have some chats. Fortunately, I seem to have the ones from YouTube, but not from Rumble. But we are at least managing to stream on Rumble. I've seen that. I've confirmed that. That's working. And I've confirmed that we're working on YouTube. So hi, everybody, and welcome to rainy South Australia, which is where we're coming from today. Now, some interesting things have happened in the last little while that probably changes the topic a little bit on what we're dealing with today. And effectively, that would be these things. Right? In particular, this little one here, which is the President of the United States, suggesting that he's going to start a war.
The United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel. In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died. Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members in Iraq. The regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels and international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monstrous October 7th attacks on Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal, something like the world has never seen before. Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terror and just recently killed tens of thousands of its own citizens on the street as they protested. It has always been the policy of the United States, in particular, my administration, that this terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. I'll say it again. They can never have a nuclear weapon. That is why in Operation Midnight.
So we'll stop it at that point, which actually raises the next question, which is right at the top here. Right. Today we find out if Iran is holding aces or not, or empty cards. So what do we have to say so far? This is basically a case where we're looking at something that's changing the whole philosophy. This is the first time that Trump's actually gone to war. And let's face it, he's now broken his peace record, and he's actually doing something that is warlike, and everybody is treating it as a warlike. So as we can see from this situation here, this is from Kyle Dupes, and he's specified quite clearly that there's been a significant move in the market. More than 70 billion has gone from the total market cap in 24 hours, and Asia hasn't even fully come online yet. Now, we understand, of course, that the market cap and, these high market players, they know what's happening before it's happening. And even in all fairness, Carl predicted something was going to happen this weekend and he wasn't wrong. So upon following that, we've also got this breaking news here. Mark's joining. He's got it. Let's just add him to the stream. Hey, Mark, how you going, mate?
Hey, guys. Sorry I'm late.
Do you want to go off camera and fix your hair or what?
Oh, no, I need to fix everything, man. I got to get me right camera set up and everything. Give me 1 second. I will be back, actually. Give me 1 second.
I'll remove you from the stream. That was a classic picture. So as we can see from here, let me just bring that stream back into full if I can remember how to do that. That's that one. Right, we can see that they're totally evading. There's no air traffic at all around here because there's bombing going on between these two. And the president confirms that operation launched. So against Iran, and Kyle Dupes again. War premium just showed up. Israel's reportedly struck Iran, emergency declared. Retaliation talks already building. Tate reacted as before anyone finished reading the headlines. Gold went up 1.8%. Silver plus 6% for all of us who are holding silver. Oh, he's waving at me. Add to stream.
No, I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to see what my camera's doing, but it's not doing it. I can't get.
Yeah, that's all right, mate. We'll just we'll just have to run with what you've got. So it is a brand new system, and we're working at the bugs on that. So welcome to the new system, and me still trying to work out all the bugs. There was a good reason why we were using StreamYard, but then they decided they were going to charge us $300 US a month for it. Oh, wow. Because we have an ABN number. And then when I said no and found another system, just then they decided they were going to give it back to me at my original price. But too late. Damage was done. So now we're using a different one, which is Real Online, which works really well, quite well. There is a few little issues that need to be worked on, and one of them was this streaming one that we're doing. The fact that I can't get any chat from Rumble is another one for that. By the way, you guys in Rumble, if you do want to say something, feel free. I have that open on another window, so I will be able to see your chat from there. Anyway, sorry, getting back to what I was talking about. Silver went up 6%. Oil has gone plus and then back -3%. And BTC down 3% and ETH down 3.5%. All due to this war. So it's going to be very interesting what happens in future as we carry on with this. Now let's just go and make us a bit more even. There we go, Mark. Welcome.
Apologies, guys. I'm not looking so bright today. With the my microphone's not working and my camera's not working for some reason. No idea why.
It'll be the new system. It'll be the new system, right?
I think it might be that I'm not on Chrome too. I had to come through the Brave browser that I use.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah. So, quite possibly. I know that Mac uses it slightly differently on the system. So in the interview I did with Mr. Pedrick, our Liberal candidate over here, they had a hell of a time. They had to set up an app on the iPad and all sorts of things happened before we could do that interview. So I'll give Mr. Pedrick patience for that and his worker who was helping him. Very brilliant worker. Good on him. Well done. So, so war.
Yeah.
Mate, war.
That was like, I was literally reading, when you messaged me saying you're good for the show, I think I was just scrolling through news reports on X and just looking at all these people just saying like that are 20-minute old posts of people saying they've just started bombing Iran.
Yeah. Well, Carl called it. He said something was going to happen this weekend along with the futures contracts that are due on the 1st.
Well, yeah. I was reading, I'm not sure if I've got them bookmarked or not, but I was reading posts which were talking about how China had told everybody to get out of Iran. And they were saying this is coming from the country who has been selling Iran billions of dollars of missiles and now telling their own people to get out. So there must be something serious coming, and they were very correct.
Now, the next question, are you prepared to guess what's going to happen to the markets?
Oh, well, I mean, it's already starting to show, didn't it? It didn't take long. Took about 20 minutes and they dropped. How far has it dropped? I haven't even had a look.
All right, so this is on the 4-hour chart. This is Bitcoin, right, that we can see here. So what we'll do is I'll just expand that out full screen. That is one of the advantages of this little program, is I can do that and we can continue talking. So we can see here that it has dropped quite significantly down. This was my line that I was following for a while, but it's been down there below that. It's gone up, bounced off the top, come back down again. So that 68, that green line you guys can see there, that's the actual top of the Bitcoin market in the last bull market that we had. All right, so that's actually that top line there. So we are below what was the top of the market. This is the first time in a bear market that I've seen the bear market go below the top of a previous bull market, just to say. So that in itself has got warnings attached to it, I think. And if we look at gold, so this is gold currently. Once again, these are 4-hour charts. Maybe if I change them to the 1-hour chart, we might get a bit of a different view, seeing things have only just happened. So let's go to a 1-hour chart and have a look at that. All right, so gold has definitely gone up. We can see that rise over the last hour, and it's still going. We'll go back to BTC here and check it on the hourly chart. So that gives you an idea of what that's dropped off. Let's also check ETH while we're at it. And ETH's done the same thing, significant drop down. Although, here's probably the two initial hits of the war, as we can see just here. Can I get my pen? Just here. Right, is the two tails that are coming down the bottom. And this is starting to show a decline from your two tails. This one here is closed lower than that one, so it looks like it's a down. It's dropping down. So
volumes dropped right off there too, Vince.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Thanks, well picked up, Mark. All right, and this one's done exactly. Okay, so let's go and have a look at what silver's doing on the CFD. Whoa,
isn't that? I can't believe it. I was like, wow, silver and gold is pumping.
Well, a war started. Where are people going to go? What are they going to do? Where are they going to put their money? In the safest thing that they can think. Not necessarily cash, but precious metals. So I see that as what is happening over here in that situation. Let's just have a quick look at the copper, see what that's doing. Even that's jumped up now in the last hour.
So would you say that the sentiment for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is, do you think it's just not there at the moment, or do you think that it's manipulation?
No, I actually think it's not there, personally. I don't think the sentiment is in there for crypto, because crypto is very much a volatile market and people spend their money there when they have money to spend. I don't think anybody's got money to spend anymore, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right,
I think that's a very fair comment, Vince.
And let's go back and get this one worked out. Right, so in my opinion, I don't think that there's any money to spend. But does that mean that blockchain and crypto is dead? I don't think so. Right, part of what we were looking at discussing tonight is a couple of the projects that I've been looking into to see what's going on, and I will show them a little bit later. But I just thought I'd, oh, look at that. He's dusting it, trying to make himself look cleaner.
It looks like I'm shooting this thing on a potato. It's pretty interesting.
I wonder, now, this is where we get a chance to experiment, because I haven't done this. Right. So we've got, oh, yes, look at that. It works. I'm trying to chat. This is all new stuff. We've not done a live on this one yet. So this is the first official live using this studio. So I'm still learning bits and pieces. I mean, we can do intervals and all sorts of things in here. But brilliant. I just wanted to see if I could actually hide. Thank you. And it worked. Wow. Right. We got little things like we can put ourselves in round spots.
Oh,
we can make ourselves bigger. I don't like that. I think we'll go back to that.
Yeah.
And all sorts of other little bits and pieces there. But yeah, so if we have little errors as we go through today's stream, I'm sorry, guys. It's all a new program. We're all learning how to use it. And I've got to get Mark signed on here because I can have up to 10 editors / authors and stuff on this thing. So we've got work to do. If I can ever catch him away from his missus and his kid, that is. Oh, yeah, look at that. He's figured out that he can go into space on a spaceship.
Yeah, watch out. Watch out, people.
Yeah, there's a whole heap. There's a whole heap there that's...
how good is that? There's a whole suite of them. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, indeed. So what news do you have this week or for the last 3 weeks? Because with 2 weeks with me being Crook and then being at the One Nation thing, I wasn't able to stream last week, and you've had a holiday. So have you been on holidays or have you been watching?
I actually did. Well, sort of. My young fella turned 2, if you could believe it, on Monday, and the missus took a bit of time off work, and we were supposed to go away, and then she put diesel in her unleaded car.
I hope she's not within earshot. You're liable to get hit with that one.
So that cut the trip just a little bit short. So we didn't quite get there as where we were supposed to go as quick as we were supposed to get there. But I had a couple of days off. It wasn't as what it was supposed to be, but it was all right, I suppose. But yeah, I've been trying to cover. I think I've put some stuff in my bookmarks. I just gotta have to go back and have a look at what I've got so much Epstein stuff in my bookmarks that it's ridiculous. Just been looking at one of them. Oh, I suppose this isn't XRP either. This was an interesting post that I had. I don't know. I'll try and... Is it sharing my screen the same as usual? Do I just go to share?
Yeah, you should be able to go down the bottom and click the little arrow that says share and bring that up. We haven't tried this. This is all new, so...
Yeah, bear with us, guys. I think we're going on. I think I've figured it out. Oh, look
yeah,
at me,
and don't forget to check the little box that says audio.
Oh,
and it says here that Mark has started sharing the screen. Okay, so we can.
So where's the audio? Where's the audio box?
Before you share it.
Oh, okay. So I'll go back.
Yeah, remove it from the stream and re-add it. When you click the window or the share or what you got to dot, there's a little right-hand side. There's a share audio.
Share screen.
It's underneath the options.
All right, I think I'm doing it. Check share audio checkbox if you want to share screen with audio. Share screen.
Yep. Okay.
Also share. Yes. So it says also share tab audio, and that is ticked. So I think I was doing it already.
That sounds different to what I see, but yeah. Come on, hide. Yeah, there we go.
We'll see how it works anyway.
All right, let's go. Add that to the stream. There we go.
Yeah, this is pretty good, Vince. I like how this works. This is cool. Okay. All right, so this post, this gets into the Epstein Island stuff because everyone's a bit of a hot topic at the moment. It's a bit fun. This lady, I think we can play probably like the first minute or so of what she's talking about. But this post, it just perked my interest because I thought it's a possibility of all the possibilities. But it says, wait, the Epstein dump isn't about trips to the island. It's about the 2008 market collapse. Got to listen to this. Okay. The Epstein files aren't about island trips. They're about who was running the 2008 bailout from the inside. Lord Mandelson was leaking bank secrets to Epstein while he was in jail. Now Trump is dismantling their whole system. And this lady is...
Thanks to the latest Epstein dump, we now know who the...
She's been breaking
Thanks to the latest
down.
Epstein dump, We now know who the banker's inside man in Britain was during and after the 2008 financial crash. Here's the most important snippet from the latest document dump. It's about Lord Peter Mandelson, and here's how Jeffrey Epstein describes him. Well, for all intents and purposes, Petey is now acting deputy prime minister. What was Jeffrey Epstein, who was in jail when that was written, and Lord Peter Mandelson doing in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crash? Remember, these discussions are going on while the bankers are being bailed out and the global financier elite are being saved. But instead of that story, here's what you're being inundated with. Now, if you read the TDS-infected press like The Guardian, you'll see headlines like, Trump news at a glance. Epstein files release shows emails with Trump officials, past and present. Or on the other side of the political spectrum, Fox News focuses on new Epstein documents include photos of Bill Clinton, shirtless in hot tub, socializing with Michael Jackson. Or if you want to go hardcore British psyops, The Telegraph says Epstein's links to Putin and Kremlin spies raise fears he was a Russian agent. Now, here's what they don't want you to think about. The 2008 financial crisis was never really solved. The banks got bailed out at the expense of the American taxpayers and the economy. And now Donald Trump is finally taking down that criminal free trade system of the global bankers. On the very same day these new Mandelson revelations came out, Donald Trump was busy dismantling what is left of that old world order with dramatic new economic moves, including the creation of a strategic critical minerals reserve. Now, if you think this is a coincidence, you haven't been paying attention. And most important, it's not about sex and blackmail. I'm Susan Kokinda, and for months, I've been telling you that the big reveal in the Epstein files was about Peter Mandelson and how it had more to do with the 2008 financial collapse and the banker's empire than it did plane trips to an island. So if you want to get above the noise and get the deeper story, hit the like.
Yeah, that's cool. I won't play too much of that. Just a couple of minutes there. She's got 15 minutes. If anyone wants to look the rest of that up, you'll be Paul White Gold Eagle was the poster of that one, but you'll also find that clip if you look for her name that she just quoted. But yeah,
I like how he threw in the Michael Jackson bit there, which has been debunked by so many of the kids that he used to be with. It's like, give me a break. Anyway.
Yeah. It's sort of, do you think with the timing of what's going on now with the Epstein file release, Iran war, do you think we're going to see the next collapse? Do you think we're going to see something else pop through? Are we going to go from strength to strength and see gold and silver just keep running and doing their thing? Crypto recover and maybe see a bit of a pump? Or do you think people are going to start losing all of their shit?
That's a good question. War's always been great for the big players, right? Not for us that are on the ground, but for the big players. Wars generally by default make hard times for the local people. But once again, this is Trump. And why would he do this? He's a smart businessman. It must mean that it's going to benefit USA, because that's the only reason he'd go here. USA is all, that's what he's all about, USA, and doing the right thing for that. For us in other countries, well, we know where our government heads, and quite comfortably it's not in our benefit, and which is why we're running low. How it's going to affect the crypto market, I don't think there's going to be money in the crypto market for a while, because people just literally don't have the much spare cash to use it.
We're very much relying on Clarity Act at the moment to bring institutional money in, if and when that sort of, though there's been murmurs, I think I might even have a couple of posts on that I could look up. There's been murmurs that they reckon they might get that done pretty soon.
Okay. Yep. Well, that will certainly assist, but even still, that's only going to help big financial investors. Us little guys, right, who are struggling to live week to week because food prices went up 30% over the last year. your basic necessities went up, electricity went up, rates went up, water went up. It's like we've got no money to spend. We've got no money to try and invest, right? So other than what we may have bought in silver that went up, that's about the only thing that has gone up over the last year. So I don't know. What else you got there, my friend?
What else do I have here? Let me see. If I scroll past anything that takes anybody's Epstein file hack, I think surely I've got where's my coin toss news? This is probably where we need to be. Apologies, guys. This was an interesting one. MicroStrategy, the big Michael Saylor, the big Bitcoin player, the big Bitcoin man, who's just Bitcoin is the only answer to everything, has supposedly had losses of $17.4 billion for the last quarter. So I'm not sure
considering how much Bitcoin dropped over the last quarter.
Yeah, I don't know how he keeps. I don't know what his business model, how it works exactly. But I don't know how he keeps getting investors. Is just keep putting money in and giving him more money to just buy more Bitcoin. And then technically,
I'm going to try something here. I'm going to see if we can add 2 streams to this system at once.
Nice.
No, can't do it. No. Okay. Just thought I would try because I just wanted to show the XRP chart while we were at that.
Ah, fair. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see. I could probably. Oh no, I'd have to share.
I can just swap us out. That's all right. I can just do this.
Feel free if you want to do that.
That's the XRP chart right at this stage.
Oh, everything. I mean, the good thing is at least everything's just following Bitcoin. It's the crypto market. At least there's no one saying, "Oh, this shit coin is dumping because it's shit." It's just everything's dumping because there's no positive sentiment in the market at the moment. Everybody's kind of. I guess there's a lot of institutions still waiting on the Clarity Act. But I mean, there's ever since Trump's kind of announced that they want to do crypto capital of the world, there's been a lot of inflows since, and that's why we had the pump last year. But yeah, now we're at the mercy of the big players with war and countries finding out that a lot of the people they had faith in to run their systems are pedophiles and probably eat children, possibly. I don't know if that's a. I don't know about that. It's amazing to see how many people haven't, like how little people have got into shit since all the stuff's coming out. But it kind of follows along for me with the disappointment of following Q the whole time. Q used to kind of, the way I kind of figured it was, it'd lead you along, it'd tow you along so you'd find out truths ahead of a lot of people, and it'd give you enough kind of conviction in what you'd learnt to know you were somewhat correct. But then when the news would come out and you would be validated for being correct, you would then say that nothing happens. And you're like, well, the whole reason supposedly we're all following this is because we're going to have consequences for the people that have done bad things. But the game for me that Q has been playing and is eventually work his end game is to show you, as the Q used to say, they have to show you, they can't tell you. So they can tell you all they want, but until you see how corrupt it is, how bullshit the system is, how disappointing all the people that you've put your faith in will be, until that point, you probably won't get up and do what you need to do to fix it. And I think I think for me, that's a lot of the things that's going on with Trump at the moment too, with a lot of his disappointments, whether he's lost a lot of faith from a lot of people as he's done things that people don't like. I think he's showing that that's playing the part of the Q game too, that he's showing people that he's not the savior, and the people that are going to have to save us is us. We all have to get up off our asses and save ourselves and save, because there's not one person can just do the job for everybody. And until you see the truth, until you see it to the very darkest of all the truths, not everybody's going to get up and do anything about it. And I think that's what's kind of going on with all these wars, and we're seeing the real dark side of everything come out. We're seeing some of these, like with the Epstein files and all that kind of stuff. We're seeing the really dark side, and it is working. It's slowly turning people to say, hey. We've even had some people in the mainstream media say, hey, the Q people were right about Pizzagate and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, which you wouldn't have seen. You wouldn't have seen prior to the Epstein file drop. So it's very interesting. But yeah, that's, for me, I think that's the game that's being played, is we have to keep seeing how shit the world really is, and how controlled we really are, and how much we are just slaves, and they will just do anything they want to keep power and keep control. And until we all say enough's enough, there's not going to be a savior.
Hide. Got it. Press the button twice. Had to make it work, but that's okay. I will be buying, what's this? Chaos dips. Oh, okay. So you're going to go dive into the chaos dips. Yeah. And there's going to be a few of those too, I reckon. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that goes. And Donna, the thing, come on, show. 3-day war? I don't think so. Not with Iran. I think this is going to go on for a bit longer.
There was. This is a post. This is from the Epstein files. And this is David Schwartz, who is the co-creator of, or the co-creator of Ripple XRP kind of thing. And he said that he hates to be a conspiracy theorist, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if this is just the tip of a giant iceberg. And this was a Jeffrey Epstein email where they talk about. I think it's Ripple gets a mention in here, which is interesting, but I'll go through the email. So it says, hi guys, we obviously have seen www.stellar.org. I'm not sure what the relationship with Jed and the team are. So anyone that doesn't know who Jed is, that's Jed McCaleb. He was also on the Ripple squad back in the day, but he left Ripple and started Stellar, XLM. It said, so I'm not sure what the relationship with Jed and the team are. I know obviously some of the players, but this is a problem for us. I think that bit's from Jeff, right? And it said, would one of you please call me to at da-da-da-da. I can explain some of the issues, but basically I've been asked by the other co-founders to reduce or take your allocation away. Ripple and Jed's new Stellar are bad for the ecosystem. We are bad for the ecosystem we are building, and it does our company damage to have investors who are backing two horses in the same race. Happy to discuss a fair way to deal with this. Best, Austin.
Okay, so that's a take. That's to Jeffrey Epstein. And
yes.
They're wanting to take away his allocation of Ripple.
Yes, sorry, that's my understanding as well. Yeah, so that showed, and that was in July 2014.
Yeah, before all the stuff happened, and then there's also mention of Stellar there as well, and the Stellar chain. So interesting.
Yeah, and they're basically saying that we don't want these guys. So this was from what some of the other guys in the XRP ecosystem have been talking about, is part of a lead up to the lawsuit against Ripple. And basically the people in the SEC were also in cahoots with Jeffrey Epstein and his cronies, and that they were either most likely involved with Tether Bitcoin, and they wanted to use Tether Bitcoin to manipulate the system and make money, and they didn't want Ripple and Stellar interfering with what they were doing. So their theory is that the lawsuit came possibly as a part of those reasons, not just, obviously there'd be much more, but that was some of the reasoning for why the lawsuit came. And David Schwartz was the one that posted this, so I assume that he may know something about it, and it may, like he said, this is just the tip of a giant iceberg. So yeah, I thought that was pretty bloody interesting.
Yeah. It puts that, do we really want to trust crypto? I mean, when someone like Ripple is involved, it does make you wonder. But then again, like any investors going to then, when money comes in and people buy stuff, it was a free market, so that Epstein could have bought as much as he wanted, I suppose. It's just that they've detected he's done it through one of their ways where they can identify who he is, and they now don't seem to be too happy about it.
Yeah.
So,
This kind of backs up. So David, Brad Garlinghouse, I'm not sure if I've actually saved the clip. Brad Garlinghouse was talking earlier about, give me a second. He made a comment, not, sorry, Brad Garlinghouse. He made a comment saying that Gary Gensler, and I don't think I'm going to be able to find it on just a quick search, which is annoying. So I'll just tell you all about it. Brad Garlinghouse has recently made a comment that Gary Gensler, who was the head of the SEC, who bought the lawsuit against Ripple, walked up to Brad in the White House and apologized for bringing the lawsuit, and said that Brad was correct in what they've been doing, and they've done really well after a $200 million lawsuit, if that's any consolation.
Oh, I'd love 200 million. That'd be nice.
But yeah, so it's kind of like, I don't know, it's lining up for me with some of this, that people investing in Ripple XRP, or XRP, not just Ripple. Ripple's the company that will help get it across the line. That it seems that Ripple have been doing the right thing from the start, and that they had insiders go after them in order to slow them down as much as they could, but they were unsuccessful in doing so. So it's I think it's a good thing for XRP. This will be some of this stuff. And may possibly, if what some of the guys have been talking about in the XRP space, if they're correct about the Tether connection, where they've used Tether to manipulate Bitcoin, which everybody thinks anyway. A lot of people think that, and that these guys, the Epstein guys, were the ones behind it, then that's going to get interesting too. And it's going to be a watch this space moment for sure.
Okay, so we've got a couple of notifications in there. KU Coin is now in an Oz-only platform. That's interesting. We'll have to chase that one down and look into that.
Oh, great. Yeah, they were only Korean.
Yeah, so apparently now they're here, so that's a good thing.
Awesome.
Of course, it'll be KYC because it's in Australia, so it has to be KYC.
Yeah, get ready for the tax man on that one.
Yeah, that's right. And we've got Flair offering 4 to 14% yield on XRP on the Xammon wallet. I've never even heard of that.
I did see that. I did see that, and then I saw another guy comment with quite a fiery comment saying, "Thank you very much, basically, for your offer, but until you can tell me exactly what happens to my XRP when I put it in to this this system of yours, can I touch it? Can I do whatever I want with it, or are you going to enforce some kind of rules upon me in order to get my 4 or 14%?" But hey, if they're doing it legitimately, and the Flare network has been, from what we've seen so far, Flare's been pretty cool with the users in the space. They haven't been trying to do anything seemingly bad, apart from they took a long time with their tokens and their drops and that kind of stuff. But they did try and help people not pay tax when they did their airdrops. They were trying to say, okay, if you guys are all just going to lose all this through tax, then we're going to pull it all back and see what we can do to help you out. So he's saying it's on the Zaman wallet, obviously. There still will be something. There may not be. Hopefully, it is just it's on the Zaman wallet. You can earn some money through it, and there's no weird things where you can't access your stuff or get rid of it when you need to. If that works, I'll be looking into that myself. Otherwise, I guess you got to look at all the what do you call it? Terms of condition.
Yeah, well, you always need to look at the terms and conditions nowadays, mate. They're not made for us; they're made for them. So, anyway, jumping from that, let's just jump back to here. All right. So, part of what I'm going to change that profile again, back to that one. So, part of what I was going to talk about tonight was AI and how that's going to help us in the marketplace. And there was two that I talked about investing in, which was on an area that I see that is not really being covered well by any major programs at all. And that is authenticity of who's actually on our social media. Is it AI generated? Is it a real person? Is it owned, or has somebody generated an AI person who, and we all look at our Mr. Silver guy who is 100% AI generated, but damn, it's a good generation.
Is he that Asian dude?
Yeah, he's that Asian dude, yeah. Right? Who speaks with an American accent.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. It popped up in my feed the other day, and I was like watching him, and then I was like, I mean, he's not talking shit, but he's definitely AI.
Yeah. But the mannerisms and stuff are very, very good. And I've seen some that have been generated, like Carl Stephanopoulos, or whatever his name is, was interviewing the Prime Minister the other day, and nailed him with a couple of good questions. But then I've seen an AI version of that come up with them. And if you look closely enough, but it's a really good impression. And the whole conversation was bullshit, obviously, but so how do we start doing that? And I think there's a big gap in the market here where creators are going to get caught in a hole, and I think there's a market somehow that can be changed. So I started looking into that, and I went down two paths. So I went down one, which is Numbers Protocol, which say that they're interested in actually doing that. And let me just show you the Numbers Protocol when I can find it again. I had it here. This is their wonderful chart. Looks real good, doesn't it? Nothing. All right. So, don't want to do that. I hit a button. And the other one, the Numbers Protocol, what they're talking about, and this is their website here, right, inside the number stack, but it's proof of origin, it's proof of value, right? And we can actually go through and have a look at, I love how that screen does that part. It's not very nice, thank you. But their solutions, provenance infrastructure for humans, real world assets, and AI. So a way of generating these assets and showing who is the actual owner, who is the maker, that sort of stuff. Now, I thought this would be a fantastic project. All right. However, if I go to the GitHub and have a bit of a look, it talks about numbers protocol here. And I can see that there is actually activity on the GitHub. All right, so this one was only updated 12 hours ago. This one 2 days ago, another one for 2 days ago. So there is some sort of activity happening on there, but there is nothing really showing up in the marketing or in the sales of it, which is very interesting. The other one that I wanted to look at, and just to give you, I'll go to that one in a minute. Hang on. Let me find what I was looking at. Evelyn AI, which is the other one. Nope, I have lost myself. Give me 2 secs. What happened to my chart? Evelyn proof snaps. X num. Here. I'm not looking for it. So the other one that I invested in or I was looking at is Evelyn, which is classed as Lynn. Right. So this is what's been happening to Lynn over the little while. Now, initially, I thought this was all about, I'll try and shrink that down so you guys can get a better view because, of course, I switched to hourly, didn't I?
Yeah.
Let's go back to 4 hourly. Right. That gives you a bit of an idea of the chart since they came out back in October 7th of last year.
I mean, that's all right.
And that's what the chart's been doing. Now we're starting to see a bit of a drop here now. But Evelyn is very interesting in the fact that it's all about registering assets on the blockchain, not necessarily about stopping AI from doing shit or being creators using AI to do stuff, right? If I can find their Evelyn page, which I did have, numbers protocol, numbers, Evelyn. So I went and had a quick look at their thing. This is the fact protocol, which is one of the ones. No, I've mucked up here. Sorry, guys. That is not what I was looking for. But Evelyn, in its, I can't show it right now, but in its GitHub situation, hasn't done anything for ages. So I have to ask the question, why is that happening?
It's interesting, isn't it?
All right. So it needs further research in there. But what they're talking about, what they're trying to do is basically register these assets on a blockchain so that they can be verified as your asset. And every time it gets tracked or gets used somewhere, it gets added to your blockchain record that somebody else has used it and so on. So, yes, it's a good idea. It's more about bringing back the independence for the sole creator as well as businesses, because they can also tag all their creations as well. So I think this one's got a possibility of succeeding, not exactly the way I wanted it to, but in a fair move that could make us money. And it's obviously making money when Bitcoin's going the opposite way, and it's doing that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Isn't it? So that might be worth looking into further on that, I think, as that goes along and doing a bit more of a deeper dive. And I was sure I had their page open here somewhere. Evelyn AI, where are we? That's it there. Actually, if I think I remember correctly, the page actually fails. It won't load. So the website doesn't load, which is also interesting, but they still seem to be moving up, and so something has just happened in the last couple of days. Yeah, it's not loading. So, but interesting that is what's been occurring. So luckily for me, I bought it somewhere down here at around 6 cents. So I'm up a little bit on that one, which was nice. No, I didn't buy a fortune. It was only $50 worth or $10 worth or something stupid like that. But yeah, but it's gone up. I still think there's a market in AI here somewhere that we have to find, but we have to find something that's not been tapped. And I think creators tagging social media, I think, is an area that has not been tapped by anyone fully at this stage. And it is going to be a huge market, because how big is the creative market?
Oh, it's non-stop. All people do is watch and scroll on platforms. That's all they do. It's constantly people can't even walk down the street without scrolling on something. You only get hit by a car.
Yeah.
So it's just all the kid says, what do you want to be? When you say to a kid these days, what do you want to be? They say, I want to be a bloody YouTuber.
All right. So I want to just bring this up too. This is my holdings that I have. This is the only one that I'm showing you guys that I'm recording. This is Phoenix, right, which is a XRP. Go away, puppy. Puppy dog's just decided it was time for a pat.
Is that on the XRP platform?
Yeah. Phoenix is on the XRP platform. It's a
on the ledger.
Right?
Go creators on the XRP ledger.
They've been going hell for leather, although it says it's down 79%. They're just about to do a major airdrop. So I'm hoping I'll get some of those. But this is a good example. These are just some of the ones that I've marked as favorite. Doesn't mean that I own them. In fact, there's some of these I definitely don't own. But they're just things that I'm sort of watching. And you can see over the last 7 days what the market's been doing. Right? So Uniswap's been going up. Right? Internet Computer Protocol, that's gone up. Grass, which is the let your browser do work in the background and use your network, and I've been collecting my grass, so I have that actually happening at this stage. Evelyn, which is the one that I've just talked about. Lynn, I expected things like Seer Coin. I thought that would start making it, because everybody's looking for data storage. Although if they had one that was to do with RAM, I'm pretty sure that would be up right now. When looking at buying computers for a friend the other day, and 32 gigs of RAM, nearly $1,000.
Oh, yeah.
Like, holy shit. Playable games has gone up. So there's a few that are bucking the market. Root Network, which is part of Base, I think, from memory. And Shrapnel, but there's not a lot. So maybe we should do a show where we go and find everything that's going up and just investigate a few of them. What do you think about that, Mark?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Okay, so I should probably spend a little bit of time here. So let's go back to that. Oh, and let's be smart and remove that from the stream, and then we're back to that. That's better. Lots of DeFi opportunities opening up here by Glenn Superdude. Lots of DeFi opportunities. DeFinance, another area that's definitely in the market that's worth watching. Opportunities opening for XRP on the Flare network. Interesting.
Yeah, Flare seems to be getting their ducks in a row. Finally, they've been a bit of not a big player, but they've announced a lot of big things. I got an airdrop from Flare. Must be at least almost 5 years ago now, where they were going to come out and do something big then, and then it's been on hold since. So the fact that they're starting to do it all now, definitely look into Flare, guys. If you haven't looked, they do. They've got another token. Is it Songbird? Is that their other token?
I'm not sure off the top of my head. Flare. Let me just look up Flare.
But yeah, they've got unless that's a defunct thing. But yeah, Flare, definitely look into that one. Like those guys, people, they'll be interesting to watch.
Okay, so here's the actual. Let me just add that back to the stage. It's the actual Flare token at the moment. It's position 79 on the 100 chart, and that's what it's done over the year to date. So it looks like it's almost hit bottom again. If we look at down here,
yeah.
No, I can't get the thing to go down, but it's getting close to the same as down here. So 0.008 of a cent. Can I get this one to behave itself? No? Yes. 0.0086.
Yeah, so that's one of those. That's one of those good ones where you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a hell of a lot of tokens.
Yeah, and if it does a reverse, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And if you get up to a couple of cents, you've made. You have to go to a couple of cents on that at the moment, and you've made a fair bit of money.
Yeah, indeed. I like this comment too. I'll show that one. Now, is that going to do what it's supposed to do? Yeah. Peter Gray said, honestly, I only want to deal with the real, and I'm pleased to have met up with you. Me too. Only real people or no deal. There's a lot of people who are going to act like that too, and that's true. I mean, how can you trust an AI when you don't know the person behind it or what they've put in or what parameters? So good point. Any thoughts here? We'll just go through this one. Any thoughts on Power Ledger? I like the idea. It's now cheap, and it's just and it is it just the cycle? Well, everything's going to go down when crypto goes down. Power Ledger's been around for a while, and it was all about distributing power, electrical power within Australia. Because if I remember correctly, Power Ledger is an Australian option on crypto.
Yeah.
I think there are other companies out there that are doing something similar or selling prices and bits and pieces. I mean, we got an interesting letter from the Labor Minister here in South Australia just suggesting that they've done a whole heap of work for those people who get subsidy for their power. And you can get even more subsidy if you go with Origin. I'm thinking, that's not very fair.
Yeah.
Why do you have to change to Origin to get the subsidy? And why is the government minister advertising that in the first place?
Yeah, that's.
I mean, it's informational, but pardon? It shouldn't matter which electricity company you go with. You should get the same subsidy. So, bit sus on that one by default. Next one, show this. My grass staking stopped earning rewards 3 months ago. Okay, well, that's interesting. Mine's still going. So not sure what's going on there, Silver Fox, but yeah, still wants that. And this one says Flair wants 5% of XRP. What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Jay? What do you mean by that? You want to give us a bit more info on that?
Yeah, that'd be an interesting. They want 5% of your profits, or 5% off the 5% of the 4% that they've given you, or 5% of the 14% that they're giving you. Is that what they want? Or
I don't know.
Are we misconstruing this?
That's an interesting option.
I can't wait till we start seeing some of these proper staking options come out.
Red Belly RWA in on the Aussie dollar, digital dollar with XRP, XDC, HBAR, XLM. Just had all the licenses approved.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, I'm not real keen on the Australian digital dollar. Something that's in my hand called cash, but the ability, I mean, I'm happy to use it if they have it out there. It's no different to what we're doing with credit cards right now or debit cards right now. That's a digital dollar, right? But the disadvantage being, of course, that it's programmable.
Yeah.
Which means they can turn it off. And
Yeah.
that part I do not like. And I do not like how they track what I spend every cent on. So, no. So, it's a catch-22 situation.
Is the RWA in Red Belly real-world assets? Is that the correct? Am I reading that correctly?
Red Belly real-world asset? I don't know. Let's go and ask the question of...
Because that'd be interesting to know, to find out if that's correct. What are their real-world assets that they're in on with the digital dollar?
Probably our minerals that we basically own in this country, and the government's sold it to them or something stupid like that. You know, it's not like the government doesn't sell our land out from underneath us. You know, they never do that. Not at all.
Right? They'd never think of it. They'd never even think of it, Vince. They wouldn't cross their mind.
Yeah, Red Belly Network, real asset tokenization. Here we go. Hang on.
Right.
All right, this is it here. Let's go and have a look, guys. Red Belly. Open capital markets infrastructure enabling assets issuers to tokenize and trade compliant on-chain structured products. Now, we've talked about this before, all right? And that they're listening things here like treasury and bonds. That's government related. Private credit, so that's going to be from banks or credit companies or whatever. Carbon credit, give me a break. If One Nation gets in, there probably won't be a carbon credit, so that one's out the window. One can only hope. I'm not that I'm taking sides. Sorry, I'm supposed to be impartial for the next 30 days. Right, then we've got derivatives and commodities, insurance, real estate.
Which is fair. Those ones are fair. It's just, it's very interesting to see how they're going to be doing it and exactly how it works. That would be. And why do we need Australia coin to do this? That's the.
Oh, yeah, and more the point, as you know, where's the proof they own the assets?
Yeah, it
always gets back to that.
Where's the all the time?
They own the assets.
Yeah, that's the huge one for me. It's like, okay, where can we see this? Who owns it? How do we access it? All that kind of stuff. But I mean, technically, there's going to have to be some pioneers out there that sort of risk a bit of shit here and dive in and hope they don't get burnt, because that's just how it's going to have to work. But I guess that's why we need the frameworks to come out around all the laws as well, because the more laws that come out for all the crypto, the less people can rip people off.
Yeah, but the way they're currently doing the laws nowadays, they're so freaking open for interpretation. You can drive a bus through them, move them any way you want. So, not very clever. So Flair wants 5 billion XRP. We're going over time here. Sorry, guys. So Flair wants 5 billion XRP. We've got Silver Fox here saying maybe he could tokenize his farm to pay out the banksters. Actually, you could. Theoretically, you could do that. Yes, there are ways to do that. It just means that at the end, though, you don't own your farm. Everybody else does.
Yeah. So, and then you'd probably also want to try and hold 51% of the tokens.
Minimum, yes. Yeah. So anyway, so there we go. So you asked RWA, real world assets. So
yeah,
something tonight.
And I mean that's where we're headed to. That's where we are headed. This is what we're headed to. So it's just going to be interesting to see what companies are legit. So Red Belly Network's definitely going to be one of the ones to watch out for in Australia by the looks of it. Thank you, whoever that was that made that comment and has brought this to our attention for this company. Thank you very much, because this would be a really good thing to watch into the future and see how they go, what they're doing. And yeah, who we got? Jay at J1159. Thank you very much.
It's the stupid numbers that YouTube's been.
So it's just Jay. It's just
Jay, right? So
that makes sense.
Yeah,
this is going to be really interesting, because one of the big things that's going to drive gold and silver prices into the future, with everybody investing in it, is having the tokenization and knowing that the ounce of gold or the ounce of silver that they've invested in is actually accounted for and in the vault, and isn't just let's see what's in Fort Knox and hope it's there. That kind of sentiment with it. So it's going to be, this is definitely happening. It's just going to be a matter of what companies do it legitimately and which people which ones rip people off. But I mean, I saw they got Firefox and all that kind of stuff, Fireblocks and all that kind of stuff there, which is legitimate companies. So
on the front page, just looking at their grants page right now for the Red Belly, so you can follow them on Discord, on X, in Telegram, YouTube, whatever that one is. Medium. A grant process, individuals, Our grant program is open to everyone, individuals, developers, corporate. Maybe we can get a grant for Cointos.
Yeah.
Developers, corporate, startups, non-profit. We're definitely not profit. Organisations and government agencies, if you share Red Belly's mission. But what is their mission? That's the interesting question.
Yeah.
To the adoption of real-world assets and on-chain, we welcome you to apply. So, obviously very active from the pictures we're seeing here.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to do a hell of a lot more research into who it is that's driving it and all that kind of stuff, because there's definitely a lot of shady characters in this wild west of crypto. But I mean, the good thing in so far from what we've seen in Australia, or from what I've seen in Australia anyway.
Oi. Red Belly Networks Proprietary Limited, Australia, 30474 Pitt Street, Sydney, New South Wales. India, second floor. Right, India.
Yeah, that's not the
best. That starts raising a question straight off the bat.
Yeah, do you reckon if we call them, we're going to get an Indian pick up the phone or an Aussie?
I'm guessing probably an Indian. Right, even if it's in Australia, it's probably still an Indian. Right, and some of them give brilliant customer support, I must add, too. Right. I was talking to one of the lads that was working down at the local service station here, and he's been in the country for 2 years, and he's just finished his master's degree in business analytics. Wow. So he was quite proud of that and was looking forward to leaving working behind the service station counter and going and sitting in an office somewhere. So good luck for him. I hope he does well. But yeah.
I met one who was doing his master's in engineering. And I was just like, and you're working at the Metro?
Yeah, well, a lot of these guys have to work to put them through school. So when you think about it, you've got to give them credit to doing a full-time school load plus working to keep themselves alive. So give them credit for that. For those who are moving in that direction, good on them. So, and that was, of course, there are plenty that aren't moving in that direction, and some of those are our own Australian kids. They need to pull their finger out. So, anyway, that's me being an old, fudgy, farty old person. So, I think probably with that, we should probably get off the stream because I'm letting all my views come out that shouldn't be probably views. And go back to that one. So it's nice to have you back on again. Let's just see if there's anything else we go. So Phil Silver Fox is telling us that there's plenty of feed and the hay stock courtesy to share the crops with my neighbour. Still broke through selling lambs soon. Okay, so he's just trying to make ends meet as usual. That it's hard enough for our Australian farmers as it is, and in all cases we should be backing them up much, much more. All right, especially if war does really get going and this escalates further than just Iran, because you think if China gets into it, or as predicted, China goes and takes out Taiwan, right? We have only ourselves to protect ourselves and only ourselves to feed ourselves. So if they suddenly start blockading us, that could be a real challenge, because most of our shit comes from overseas nowadays, and we need to do something about that. Anyway, that's a totally different game to crypto. So I should probably get off that subject. Anything else you want to add before we pack it in for the night, Mark?
Nothing major other than I'd only just dive back into more news that I've seen that I've got here to talk about, but it'll depend if you want to hear more shit. Other than that,
well, how about you save that for next week? If we
that's what I was going to say. It's only going to open up a can of worms that's going to drag the show out another 15 minutes or something. So we probably
let's keep that for next week so we can have a can of worms to talk about next week. Hang on, next week. Saturday. All right, we might be starting a little bit later on next week, more around 8:30 your time,
Yep.
because I have to bring a son back from Adelaide next week. So I'll be trying to set the show up earlier. And at some stage, we need to get together so I can show you how to work this new beast.
Yes. Yeah, it'd be good to get my microphone and camera working again. That'd be kind of cool. Well, I'm loving this sweet new background. I mean, come on. I think.
Yeah, well, you go and you've got plenty to choose
in a
from.
Spaceship. How cool is that?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not too bad. Reasonable price. There are some little issues like the sharing and uploading video or voice. You're limited to what you can do, and you've got to have pictures at certain sizes for what you can do. There we go. What's this from Pete? Peter Grace. Right, Vince, I did an apprenticeship at uni at the same time. And it was hard, but worth it. And that's true. I mean, a lot of us did various things like that. I was busily having a family while re-educating myself and working at a service station while trying to do that at the same time as I got my IT degree. So, yeah. So I know what you mean, mate. I understand that 100%. So with that, though, I think we should say thank you, everybody, for those who've attended. There was 0 live chats on the Rumble, so that's okay. And hopefully, as this new suite progresses, they'll be able to hook into Rumble and get those live chats as well. So that's a hint, developers, in case you're listening. With that, you want to say good night, Mark, and welcome back for this year.
Yeah, welcome back. Thanks for coming back, guys. It's been an in and out start, hasn't it? But we'll get there. We'll keep Thanks for coming.
And it's going to be a bit like that for the next 4 weeks too, because we've got the South Australian election over here, and I'm trying to arrange interviews with as many candidates as I can from all parties. And considering there's 47 districts, and 5 or 6 candidates per district. And I don't expect Labor's going to even bother to talk with me, but we'll find out. All right.
It's great that people are willing to come on and have a chat with you, mate. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, One Nation's
have they been hard to get a hold of? Have they been hard to get on?
They are, yeah. One Nation's been pretty good with some of the people coming on. We've managed to get a Liberal also, and they've given me links to all their other Liberal candidates, so I can email off a request to them. I've still got to chase up a couple of others like the Greens and whatever, but yeah. So those who wish to come, I don't care what party they're from at all, right? The same questions get asked every single one. So and I'm trying to be as non-biased as I possibly can.
No, the last one was awesome. It was good to watch.
Oh, you watched my last one, did you?
Yeah, I watched most of it. I won't say I had to turn off some of it because my little fella jumped on me, and that's life.
Yeah, little fella. Always blame the little fella. You're going to give him a complex, Mark.
I was watching Toy Story 4 with him before. It took me 2.5 hours to watch a 90-minute movie. Sorry, I still haven't finished the 90-minute movie because it just doesn't. I'm trying to get to the end of Toy Story 4.
And this is why we are real and not AI, because these things happen. All right, guys. So I'm going to now work out how I get out of this thing. I wonder what happens if I just click end stream, whether it's actually going to just end or whether it will play the beginning part.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. So we may end up with 2 beginning parts because I'll play it out and then we'll go end stream and maybe it plays a second time. But hopefully we'll catch you guys all next week. Have a bit of a chat, discuss, see what's going on in the market. This next week's going to be interesting due to what's just happened or what's just been announced due to the war with Iran and Trump doing whatever he's doing. I'd really like to know why that's occurred. So I'm probably going to be investigating that most of tonight. Mark, however, on the other hand, is going to have a wife and a kid to look after. So he's not going to get a chance to look at anything. So
yeah,
with that, good. Say goodbye, Mark.
Good night, guys. Never give up, guys. Even when the war starts, never give up.
And I've got to find the media one, which is over here. And from me, all I say is, right, be truthful to yourself and keep the faith. Cheers all. That and that's what you call, you're still on live, Mark, you're still on live. That's what you call a mistake, but I just advertised my real talk with Vince.
That's it. I was like, that was awesome. I was like, real talk. Yeah.
That was not the one that I was supposed to play. So there we go. So there's a mistake. First one, well, one of many. So with that, guys, we'll say goodnight.